Hello and welcome to another new running cast. As always, my name is Johno and I'm joined once again by James. How you doing, James?
Yeah, excited to see this Gabe deck in action.
Yes.
For longer than last game.
So we're into the fourth round, elimination round of the BABW Finals. And on the left side we're still with Andrew Xenasis Hynes, who's piloting as Gabe. He's facing on the right hand side Rob Mendax Thompson, who's piloting NEH.
And I think this game comes with a fast play warning.
It does come with a fast play warning. Both these players are very good. They're also incredibly fast, so yeah, we will try and keep up. We also get a first glance of the BABW prize mats we're giving out to top 4, which are quite nice. The art that was used for the series. So we see a fairly typical NEH start, installing a remote for a draw to
so that
ice.
was a Sansan, I think.
Yes, you may be right, I think we saw it, yeah. And then he's going to check, and it is.
Yep,
Can't trash it.
Getting the Desperado credit.
Yep, but that's turned because he did hit the Enigma on HQ. And it's all for a draw on 2 credits
So
for
he's got
NEH
enough to res
set
an
up.
Architect, for
So
example.
we can see an Architect fire on R&D. It's not a great one to face check.
It's horrible to face check.
But
Especially against NEH.
yeah, he didn't have a lot of money, so I guess you feel like
He's probably not going to put an agenda down.
Yeah, although of course he's still got more clicks left, so you can check. And Rob leaves him a daily business show. Very generous of him in R&D. So now it's very early still, but who's better set up? Rob has no money, but loads of cards on the table.
Rob's got some ice down.
Yeah, that's true. Resed as well on both the centrals.
But he needs money to get anything done. Even resing these pad campaigns would be an advantage here.
That's true. Once he can res the pad campaigns, the money will start to trickle in. Although I guess at that point, Andrew will go very aggressively.
Sneak door. So Andrew's going to get a little bit of economy here.
Yeah, so Gabe pay out and get some accesses as well.
Gets an Astro, nice.
Astro, yeah. So that's that's a very good exchange. So he'll be happy to see that. He's going to get another look as well. And we're going to see.
Sees a DVS that he saw off the top of R&D.
Yeah, probably.
Shuts down the.
And shuts down the Architect.
Power turn.
Which is very nice because Rob obviously doesn't have the money at the moment to re-res. So it's going to be tough.
So Rob ices up Archives to defend against.
Take 2. So he's
only try and cut off Gabe's economy.
He does only have 3 credits, so he can't defend R&D. He's going to give up an NEPD. And
Rob assumes he's going to go again immediately.
Yeah, and see the sweeps. Does have a click left though.
So Andrew now is going to try and play around this sweep, keep him at low money.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the sneak door is now. I mean, you can trash the sneak door now, right? I mean, you don't no longer need it.
Yeah, the Parasite goes down.
Parasite
on
Enigma,
HQ, which is very strong.
Yeah, that won't last very long.
Andrew trying to keep the early game strength of Gabe up here.
Yeah, as Rob takes 3 credits for his turn. He's going to check out more remotes, it looks like. We're just going to see a lot of assets. No temptation for Rob. It seems to start putting agendas down. We saw, obviously, Laurie in the previous game try and sneak through an Astro.
Yeah, Laurie was very flooded in that game,
yeah, so
CVS, that's going to keep the Enigma alive a little bit longer.
Keeps the Enigma alive for one more turn. As
Rob reses a pad.
He has enough to res a pad, and that's it, I think. So, once you can get the pads online and start trickling in, it would be interesting to see if Andrew trashes this pad.
He's not got enough money to do it at the moment.
I mean,
really.
it's only 3 trash Desperado.
So marked accounts comes up. So
marked accounts
Rob solidifying his position a little bit here.
Yeah, he's very low money, but he's kind of scraping his way out.
He needs to find some more ice, and ice is not something that there is a lot of in his deck, if I remember correctly.
Not ice on HQ.
Yeah, he needs to cut Gabe off from HQ soon, or he's going to get siphoned.
He's another CVS, so Enigma will hilariously stay alive one more turn.
That is the luckiest Enigma
I've ever seen. So that's true. He's delaying the inevitable.
Fairy goes down.
You could assume that there's siphons and or legworks in hand by this point. Yeah. So yeah. As we see a fairy, which will help. Should Andrew run R&D again, which he probably will.
So I think
protect him.
So more remotes. Rob's now accidentally hiding them behind his counters.
Yeah, he's going to start creeping. He's all right. He's on our camera. That's okay. He was at this because I was also doing the live commentary on this day, so he was off camera.
Oh no!
So it did get quite tough. I believe he got warned. Actually, we may see that shortly. So now to a huge 7 credits. Never seen him quite so high. But he's putting himself out. He's still got the marks.
He's
still
got
got
a
pad,
few pieces of ice
another
on
one
R&D
down.
now.
Yeah, it's interesting he didn't ice HQ instead of R&D again. Is that an interesting choice?
It kind of is, because when this Enigma
It
dies, I guess if he gets siphoned, he's just going to res all the assets so that Xenasis won't get any money.
So it's just a pop-up, so it's not that surprising. It's not going to keep going HQ. But we'll tax repeated R&D runs, which we're sure to get. As he sees a biotic, and we see another pad resed, and we'll draw the biotic. So the money's now creeping in. He's got the biotic in hand. If he can grab a little bit of money, he may be able to score out soon. Or he might be able to score out now if he has a shipment from Sansan.
Yep.
He did install for a draw, but he's not going to advance by the looks of it. Just having a good think. So he's going to manually draw.
I think he's purposefully leaving some of these remotes unresed so that if Xenasis goes for a siphon,
I don't think he wants everything resed at this point. I mean, he's resed the kind of economic ones, but yeah.
He just wants to make sure that he can't get any siphon money off him.
So we're gonna obviously see a run on HQ now that it's free.
Gabe's gonna start earning money just by looking and checking HQ, which is a very strong position to be in.
Yeah.
So, Johno, is this the losers bracket or the winners?
Well, this is it. This is the losers semi-final. This is top 4 game. Okay. So yeah, there's only 4 players left. There are 2 waiting in the wings, which will be Tim and Alex.
Yep.
So the
UK #1 and the UK #2
indeed,
this year.
yeah, the winner of this game.
Gauntlet.
The winner of this game will play Tim in the next game, and the winner of that will play Alex.
And Andrew also a top 16 competitor at the UK Nationals this year.
Yeah, and Rob probably wasn't far off. I don't know where he finished.
I don't think Rob had quite as good a day. I split with him at Nationals, but
that was a bad day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for him to drop a game to the likes of me.
Okay, so we're going to see some more HQ accesses. Cards going everywhere.
Yeah, a bit sloppy this game in terms of that stuff.
Having said that, it's high pressure, and here comes Tagore to police Rob and tell him he could start stacking remotes. Yeah, he might as well. If he trashes them, it's different, but yeah.
Xenasis has now got enough money to do basically whatever he wants.
That's true, yeah.
Which probably could include trashing some of these economy assets at this point.
Okay, so the money's going to come in, he's going to draw a card. He's not in a position to biotic, so icing HQ seems reasonable, and still for a draw. It'd be interesting to see if he's just going to click marked accounts. Okay, now he did have a sweeps early. He must have played it, but we haven't seen any other economy come out, any other sweeps or hedge. You'd think maybe what do you think? Would he have a lot of operation economy? Maybe it's all assets.
I'm not sure. I did play this deck a few times in the past 6 months, but
so another access for biotic. It'd be interesting to know if that's the only one. There might be multiples in HQ.
Yeah, so Andrew very diligent. He's not going to bother to trash the marked accounts, but
yeah. Well, now that he's got loads of money,
yeah, he's going to keep him really
he also
low.
installs drug dealer. So drug dealer is interesting. It exchanges a credit for a card. So losing a credit every turn can obviously be very bad, but the cards, if it's drawing your economy, is good. And obviously, as we've already discussed, he has other uses for those cards.
Yeah, I think he wants to draw into the Faust here.
Yeah, yeah. So
or a special order, whichever.
Yeah, on the CVS.
That Enigma's already dead though, so
yeah,
it can't be saved again.
Yeah.
Same old thing. He's sitting on tags, but he's put the same old things down. He's betting that Rob's not going to trash these drug dealers, for example.
Yeah, he's not very rich. That's an interesting question. Do you trash a drug dealer? I
think I might do at this point.
Yeah.
He's obviously drawing into. You probably just trash the same old thing at least.
Trashing the same old thing seems pretty reasonable as a siphon in the bin.
I mean, Rob's got enough money though at this point that he can res a Sansan and maybe some other stuff. So.
That's true, and he might try and score now. He might have a genuine possibility of doing that.
But resing assets in response to a siphon doesn't help you that much when Xenasis has already got a crap ton of money.
So before the draw, Rob used Jackson to return 2 face-down cards. I mean, it's possible he was flooded at the start.
It may be agendas at this point because he's got enough money to start scoring out. So look at these drug dealers eating away at Andrew's economy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean,
he's got a bank
losing
job,
money
so
fast.
He's going to build it back up.
Yeah,
and there's no way you can stop a bank job in this kind of a deck.
He used a bank job on the marked accounts.
Yeah.
I guess any of the others could be Jackson. So you never know.
So you use a click.
Yeah.
So sensible there.
Yeah.
Gets the Desperado money as well
yeah.
for, just extra benefits.
But he does trust the DBS, so he's obviously aware that now that Rob's getting up a bit of money, being able to filter the draws is something that he wants to do.
I think that's a good decision from Andrew.
But he left them early. And there's an interesting. It's a marker as well in the kind of change momentum of the game's taken. There is a DBS, so we are going to see that one, and he's going to have a look. Okay, so to see what happens this turn. He does have the money. I believe there's still a Sansan down in this first remote. Instead, he's going to ice archives.
In both the first and the second remotes.
Oh, yes. Sorry, you may be right. If you're Andrew, do you go back and trash those? I mean, you're 4 points up, but you want to avoid.
I think Andrew's kind of desperately trying to find his breaker here.
Yeah.
In order to just get some more accesses.
Okay, so he's going to draw.
So he's got a special order now.
Special order, yeah.
So we'll see what he decides to fetch.
He doesn't have loads of money.
He's got 19 credits, John. That's quite a lot.
Yeah, yes. He does have a decent amount. So what's he going to get? Now, you think he's going to get Faust, but he may not. So
he gets the Mimic, because now he can get into R&D.
Yes, so R&D now is 3 credits to get in, since that's fair exchange.
Yep.
If you're going to start getting accesses. We saw Maker's Eye in a previous game. Be interesting to know if he's got any hardware multi-access
I believe that is the only multi-access.
Just Makers, okay.
Here it comes.
He does have one, so he's going to play it. So he's breaking
news.
He does get a breaking news, yeah, and a second breaking news.
Right, so that's irrelevant at this point, but it probably means that Rob needs 4 2-pointers to win.
Yeah. Yes, you may be
it's
right.
Irrelevant
that's
to Andrew,
the conventional,
but not irrelevant to Rob.
Yeah, that's the kind of conventional agenda setup, isn't it? Okay, so Rob's also aware, as he scores an Astro out of Sansan,
yep,
that he's up against it a little bit. He needs to prevent. I mean, there's nothing to stop.
And I think this is the point where Andrew took 2 agendas in one run with a Maker's Eye, right?
Yeah.
I think you same old Makers here, because you'll see 3 fresh cards.
That's pretty reasonable. He might think there's some in hand. It's only 3 credits to get into R&D, but he is losing 2 a turn to drug dealers. He's going to soon R&D is going to be out of reach.
I think you same old Makers here.
I think that's a good shout. It looks like he's going to do that.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, very good call.
So 3 fresh accesses. So it's a wraparound, something I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know what they are. And that was a
Jackson.
Yeah, didn't see the middle card. I believe it was lost to a DBS. Inside job of Sansan to trash it. Okay.
Leaving him on very low money though.
He's very low. Yeah, that is true.
And it's going to be even lower once the drug dealers have their pound of flesh.
That's true. He does get 2 cards. Yeah, he doesn't have the economy to sustain the drug dealers anymore. He did earlier, but
trashing that Sansan has left him in a very difficult position.
Having said that, I think it was a reasonable thing to do.
Wow, so Rob scores out an Astro just behind the eyes.
Yeah.
But
trashing the Sansan, with the Astro counter, but the Sansan would have meant he had 2 Astro counters, so it was a reasonable decision.
A good decision.
Yeah. Now this is interesting. He's got 1 credit, so he bounces, right, because he's not going to have to break whatever it is behind it.
He certainly can't steal an APD, for example.
Yeah, and even if he suspects there's nothing more than another pop up, he doesn't have enough money.
Yeah.
So he's now up against it with drug dealers. They betrayed him a little bit, as drug dealers want to do.
Yeah.
Don't do drugs, kids. So
public service announcement from Johno.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, do you consider? So he takes 3 credits. Now that seems. That's losing 2 clicks, right? Because he's going to lose the 2.
He's had to throw away a Katie Jones because he's sat on tags and Rob has more money than him.
Yeah.
Rob in a much stronger position now than he was, say, 4 or 5 turns earlier.
I mean, having said that, Andy can get into R&D for 3 credits, so he could be a lucky access. He can take a couple of credits and run. He's going to run out of money soon.
Yeah,
but
I guess he can get 1 access from 0 credits every turn. But
so he
can't take in an APD, for example, and if Rob puts any more ice on there.
So he ran a random remote hoping to get a credit and was denied because it was a Jackson. As we see some money go back, it's all economy. I'm sorry, it's a Sansan 2 hedge fund.
Yeah, just stuff that Xenasis is never going to be able to trash from R&D that's potentially pretty useful for Rob. The Sansan will at least draw him a card and present another threat on the board. Yeah,
hedge fund pays for biotics, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which we know he's got because he still hasn't played them.
This is starting to look worrying for Andrew.
Yes, it is. it'd be nice if you could get some burst. Oops.
It's another architect.
There's an architect which he can break. He's going to get into HQ. He does get Gabe money, which
neutral,
is not the end of the world.
Neutral on the economy.
Yeah, that's all right.
Flick of the dice here.
He's gonna get
that's why I hate dice for accessing.
Yeah.
You always roll a 6.
You do always roll a 6, that's true.
It just takes forever in the middle of timed games.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see what's going to happen here. Rob's having a good think. Some maths.
So discussing.
They're discussing if turn was over.
Track clicks people.
Yeah, so takes a credit and then turn is over. Taking a credit. See,
you're just going to lose 2.
I mean, yeah, I don't like taking credit, but on the other hand, there's nothing else you can do if you need the money next turn. Okay, so we're installing a new remote.
He has got a filthy drug habit.
Yeah, he does. So he's going to biotic. Okay, he's interesting.
It's probably a Beal, I would guess.
Yeah, and didn't want to use the...
Might be a third Astro script.
Okay, so he's going to biotic again.
Okay, double biotic for an NAPD. Or a Beal, a 3-point Beal? Can you get a 3-point Beal?
No, he can't, so he's misjudged this. And this was the problem, he did misjudge it. He hoped that with the Astro counter and the money, he'd be able to score out a 3-point Beal, but in fact he couldn't.
So
and
that's a terrible misplay.
Yeah.
Rob gets away with it with at least a Beal intact.
Yeah, there's nothing... you can't blame Rob for this. It's the end of a long day, and he generally just misjudged. He was, I think it was a credit, maybe I think it was 2 credits actually short. If you had to say a shipment from Sansan hand, even something like that, maybe he, well, obviously with hindsight, but maybe if you'd taken 3, you could have done it next turn for the win. It would have been a great surprise win. Probably Andrew wouldn't have expected it. Expected a 3-point Beal to close the game. He might have expected 2 more scores.
You don't expect someone to double.
It was a really nice move, but he didn't quite give him that. He just misjudged the numbers.
Well, he hasn't. He's lost the biotic and he's lost some money from that, but he hasn't lost.
Yeah, he basically lost he basically lost the biotic, but he's still got the Astro counter. So
he just needs the next 3-2 at this point.
Yeah, that's it. He's just waiting to draw it really, and he's going to draw
Andrew's
quite aggressively.
Finally back on a reasonable level of
economy. That's right. And if he draws a legwork, or maybe not legwork, but I think makers are a same old thing, for instance, you'd consider another R&D.
I think the game's probably an R&D at this point.
Yeah. So you can see a bank job.
So he's recovered his economy now. Rob's very homogeneous ice suite, meaning he doesn't really need to install any other breakers other than the moon.
Yeah. So he's going to run R&D. This is a mystery card that I didn't see, but not an agenda.
Yeah. So Xenasis might have considered trashing the DBS here.
Yeah, it's reasonable. He's got one more click left.
Credits. So he can score out with the Astro token.
Yeah, but he might worry there's one in hand as well, so he's going to try and find it.
I'm not sure there is one in hand. Otherwise, why would he have gone for that? I mean, I suppose
he might just try to close it out, right? Yeah. But he's going to get DBS draw anyway. So if that second card is an Astro and he took it very quickly, it's a Beal in fact. So so we can score out the Beal with the Astro counter. Wow, incredibly tense. Incredibly tense.
Fast-paced game.
Yeah, it was very fast-paced, and it was frantic as well. I mean, it was. So okay, let's rethink. We unfortunately, once again, did not see Faust in this deck. Despite it's Faust,
pretty sure it does.
It does. No, you're right. You're right. It does. I actually saw it on the day. You're not a liar, but
well, you don't get that far, John.
But I didn't get it on camera, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So in that game as well, a more traditional breaker suite, I guess. The drug dealers were there, but were the drug dealers more of a hindrance than help in that game? I mean,
I think you're kind of describing an arc where at the start they were feeding him cards and things that he needed to progress his board and keep the pressure up, and then he sort of slowed and Rob began to stabilise, and that's when the drug dealers just became like you say, a hindrance.
Yeah, so I guess drug dealer it makes you lean more towards an early game than a late game kind of strategy.
So one of the things that I've learned over the last, say, 6 months of playing Netrunner, that Brendan has kind of hammered into my skull, is that getting down to very low credits is rarely a good move. You're often tempted to install the extra R&D interface, or go again for the final medium run, and to maximise before they purge or something.
Yeah.
Very rarely is that a really good solution to the problem if it leaves you on only 1, 2, or 0 credits.
Yeah.
You need to be able to stay on a reasonable threshold, which enables you to continue playing out your event economy, for example.
Yeah.
Especially when your other economy is things like maybe liberated accounts, which have a very high initial activation energy in terms of credits to install.
And this is true of runners as well as cores.
It's
true of both sides.
Yeah, specifically in terms of the runner.
Yeah.
You really need to keep that kind of threshold level. Otherwise, you end up in the kind of doldrums for 2, 3, 4 turns before you can stabilize your economy again. And that's kind of what happened here when the drug dealers really went to town.
Yeah, I'm more familiar with being in the Kate hole when you get down to less than 3 credits.
Yeah, it's not
you
good.
Can't get out,
Yeah.
even with prepaids, that kind of thing. Okay. I mean, is it just a case of not having the sustainable economy in the cards he was drawing? Not.
Well, no, I mean, we saw he had things like Bank Job, for example, which require almost no credits to get off.
No investment, 2 clicks to actually
a credit to install, or, gain a credit, install it, then run. So maybe 3 clicks for 9 credits with Desperado.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he didn't see the Faust, which is a way of breaking ice, obviously, without requiring any credits.
Yeah, and he had cards. He was discarding cards every turn, so it's true.
I don't know. It felt like he could have won that game.
It was a tough one.
It was certainly a tight one, I think.
So from Rob's point of view on the NEH side, he was under pressure a lot at the start. He had frequently had 0 or 1 credit, and he was getting cards down. He was installing and drawing, and Architect was firing, and he was getting cards down. But it was only after a few turns he actually got the money up to start resing the pad campaigns, and then, as we kind of mentioned during the game, he was able to kind of bootstrap his economy and actually get it into a position, and it was pretty stable at the end. Barring the miscalculation near the end of trying to score the 3-point bill, so it was a pretty solid game, I think.
So Andrew made the decision at one point to trash both the pad campaigns but leave the marked accounts.
Yeah,
which I don't think anyone would would say was the wrong decision. But the marked accounts, on the other hand, did quite a lot of work keeping Rob just ticking over.
Well, it taxes clicks for him to use it, and it's obviously a lot more to trash.
No, I'm not saying it's the wrong decision, but at the same time, that marked accounts did do quite a lot of work for Rob.
Yeah, and he also trashed the DBSs and things like that as well.
Yeah, I mean,
and he went for the Sansan.
That NBN deck.
I like to trash Sansans before they're used.
Yeah, I think.
It's
been used, it's often too late, John.
Well, that's it, but that's the decision. When a Sansan's been raised and used to score an Astro, is it the right decision to trash Sansan? That's always a tough decision to make.
So we saw Andrew trash it here, and one of the previous games we saw Joey just not trash it against Dave Hoyland and try and persist with a medium log. Yeah. So I'm not sure is the answer.
It sounds like you shouldn't trash it then. Based on that sample size.
Actually, all right, listeners, if you're playing against me, you leave my Sansans rest. It's fine. You'll do fine.
Yeah. That's it. You feel like, even though they've got an Astro counter, you feel like you want to cut off. It saves them a click, right? You don't want to save that many clicks. I've been in positions where you can't leave. You're playing against an NEH and they've got a Sansan raised and they've got 2 Astro counters, and it's like,
that's the point where
they could draw click 2 and still score an agenda.
It is kind of unnecessary to trash it, but
okay, all right.
So it's a threatening asset, a Sansan. It's a threatening upgrade, I guess.
So Xenasis drops out, but we will stick with Mendax, who will continue. We're going to see his Geist next.
I think it's worth pointing out that both of these players were playing Criminal on the day.
Yes.
In the middle of a time period where people have been very down on Criminal.
They're down Criminal now. That day, there were a lot of Criminals. They're actually quite a lot of Gabe in particular on that day.
Yeah, I think people were expecting a lot of NEH.
Yes, I think that's fair.
Very decent NEH matchup. So.
Yeah. So we're going to see, continue just mentioned that, we're going to see Mendax plays Geist against Tim Fowler's NEH. So we're going to see another Criminal NEH matchup. Tim, obviously, NEH proponent for some time. He's loves his NEH.
UK's premier NEH player. Got a lot of competition in that, but he is a master at NBN Fast Advance.
Yeah, I was about to say, any guesses what type of NEH he might be playing?
There's no way he's playing anything other than Biotic Labour.
You're absolutely right. Advance. You're absolutely right, and of course, Rob will know that as well, going into it.
Well, they play together, they're local players to each other. They both play in Bristol.
They play in Bristol, yeah. Good in
fact, Rob has complained many times that Tim knew about his Geist deck.
Oh, right.
Had insider information because of testing. So,
so this Geist deck is quite interesting.
I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
It was quite an interesting deck as well. Okay, so I'll mention that if you'd like to watch any more of our videos, you can do so at the website nearreadinggrid.co.uk. You can also find us on Twitter and Facebook and probably other places by searching for Near Reading Grid. Should you be so generous, we also welcome contributions on our Patreon page. Helps improve all the videos, and all contributions are very much appreciated. Thank you, James, for helping me content this video.
Thank you for having me, Johnny.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.